Yes, people. Welcome back to the finished article with all things Fergie time. As you can see, I've got a smile on my face. I'm wearing the United shirt. Obviously, it's not this season's, but who cares? Um, yeah, you know why I've got a smile on my face. Everybody knows why I've got a smile on my face. We got the 3 points, but it was a very, very dramatic ending to this game. Before I get into this all, though, as people know, we are a new channel on YouTube. So please leave a like, subscribe, and comment to the channel over here on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch. The official Facebook and Twitter are scrolling across the bottom as we speak. And we have got an official Fantasy Football League over on the official Premier League Fantasy Football website. And here it is. There's the invitation code. Get yourself signed up. Get yourself subscribed to the channel, and you can win yourself some prizes. There'll be prizes for the overall winner of the Fantasy League at the end of the season, and also every month, whoever has the most. But without further ado, I'm bringing my boy Shaz on. Here he is. Yes, Shaz, how are we, my G?
What's happening, bro? You good?
Yes, bro. How are you, man? How are you?
Yeah, not bad, bro. Not bad.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So let's get this cracking, bro. Let's get this cracking, yeah? So, as we all know, United barely escaped with 3 points against West Ham away. What a dramatic game ending this was. It was absolutely brilliant. I was jumping off my seat. You can ask Shaz. He was there when I was doing it. I was going sick. I loved it, man. My heart was racing. You know, United just, I don't know. United just need to stop doing that to me, man. I'm getting too old for this, man. I'm getting too old, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the funny thing is, so we were watching this and Shaz went off on one because Matic came on and Matic passed the ball forward and Shaz was like, "Oh shit,
It's magic, bro. He knows
it's
how to
Matic."
pass it forward.
And then next thing he goes, "Nah, normal services resume." Then I was like, I looked down for like 2 seconds. I think, okay, Matic just got it. What we're gonna do now? And all of a sudden, Matic, I don't know what he did, just like a deja vu. He just pings a
Got the
ball
ball
forward,
forward, bro.
pings a
That's
ball
what you do.
forward that goes all the way into the box. And at first I thought, okay, yeah, your boy Ronaldo, Fernandez, Greenwood will be on it. But it turns out Lingard had it. And I thought, it's a bit of a tight one. Lingard cuts inside and unleashes the shot.
Lingard finished that. That was a
Yeah.
sick finish from Lingard, man. I'm not even lying to you. That's one of the best finishes I've seen from Lingard in a long time. And I'm really glad to see Lingard.
Lingard has that in his Arsenal, so he's done that quite a few times
Yeah,
over
no,
the
no,
years.
that's definitely right, bro. But I'm really glad to see Lingard back on form, and I'm glad that he's getting the opportunity in the United team after his great performances at West Ham last season. And as you noticed at the end of the game, he didn't celebrate because
Yeah,
obviously he has that love and respect for West Ham, who gave him that opportunity at the end of last season. But as we know, Lingard is now 2-2 in the Premier League. He scored against Newcastle and he scored against West Ham today. So your boy is on form.
yeah, he's had a bit of a up and down week actually, considering
Yeah,
what
I was
happened on
about to get
Tuesday.
onto that,
So
bro. I was about to get onto that. He has, bro. You're right. Yeah, he has had an up and down week. So midweek, he made a blunder by passing back to the goalkeeper and letting young boys take the win. But this week, he made up for it on the weekend with a goal against West Ham and winning us the game. But going over to Ronaldo, he's now 4 goals in 3. So if anybody thinks he's washed, you can leave your comments to say that he's washed, but they're going straight in the bin because that's where they belong. If you think Ronaldo's washed after the start he's had at United, you have no clue about football.
you know what? The funny thing about the 4 goal, bring that stat up again. So that 4 goals in 3 games. If he was a little bit more clinical, I reckon he could have easily doubled that because he has had numerous chances, but you know what?
Bro, he could have had a hat trick today. There
Yeah, he
was a
could have.
couple of chances in the first half that if he put in, we could have been 3-0 up at half time.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple of talking points. We'll go through them as we remember them. So the first one is obviously the chances Ronaldo had that he didn't put away. Some of them were a bit easier than others.
Yeah.
And really, from a player with Ronaldo's with Ronaldo's caliber and ability, I would expect him to convert them into goals. But you can't score every opportunity you get. And for him to at least score and have 4 goals in 3 games, that's amazing. He's now scored in every single game he's played for Man United since he's come back. And that's an amazing start he's had. He's had 3 games and he scored 4 goals. And for a 36-year-old, that's amazing. And for people to say that he's washed,
yeah,
bro, I don't get where they're coming from. It's either they don't like United or they think Messi is the GOAT, which I disagree with you because I posted this on my Facebook, on my personal Facebook, that Ronaldo has done it in the Premier League. He's done it in the La Liga. He's done it in Serie A, and he's now back in the Premier League doing it again. He's done it in 3 different leagues in 12 years, while Messi has done it in 1 league. Yeah, so to me, Ronaldo is the better player because he's proved it in 3 different leagues. He's proved it in the Euros when Portugal won the Euros.
Mm-hmm.
He's proved it on every stage besides the World Cup. That's the only trophy he hasn't won in his career is the World Cup. So if you tell me that Ronaldo is not as good as Messi, I'm just going to tell you you're on crack or you're high.
Yeah, that's quite funny actually. He's no ordinary 36-year-old. That's for sure.
Nah, man. Bro, and, let's put it this way, right? Ronaldo is the same age as me, bro.
Yeah.
Let that sink in, right? Ronaldo is the same age as me. Now look at the guy's fitness and his ability, bro. And I want to focus on his fitness because his fitness is like he's like a 26, 27-year-old at this point. His fitness level is like 10 years younger than what he actually is. That's how focused he is on his career and his fitness. My fitness is probably like I'm like bloody 46 right now. Mine's the opposite. You get me? Mine's the opposite. But you get where I'm going, right? Ronaldo's fitness is amazing. And I think if you wanted to, he could carry on for another 5 or 6 years at the highest level.
Absolutely, yeah. I think he can. I mean, just on today's game, just want to throw in.
We've got a comment here from Darren. And Messi has an argument tonight with Pochettino.
Oh yeah, I saw that. So
did Messi have an argument with his manager?
Yeah, when he came off, manager took him off, and he had a bit of a hissy fit.
Sick.
But
sick.
I just saw the highlights of that.
There's a little point that someone was talking about online. I read an article on this online. Now, I don't know if you didn't watch the game against Young Boys, did you, Shaz?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so I didn't actually watch this part of the game. For some reason, I don't remember it, or I must have like gone to the bathroom or gone to grab something to eat or something during this part of the game. But when Ronaldo came off, he was at the touchline, obviously with the other subs. So there was him and Fernandez went to the technical area where only the manager and the staff are allowed to be. And they were I don't think they were arguing. They were giving shouts to the players that apparently, but the talk was that they were giving shouts to the referees because they had some decisions go against them and they were just angry and making themselves vocal. And that's their passion coming out. And the article I read was Rio Ferdinand came out and said, if it was me as manager, I would have told him to sit down. I would have told him, don't come into my technical area, go sit down. And Solskjaer has come out, and I'm going to read this to you, Shaz. I'm going to read you Solskjaer's comments, yeah?
Go on.
These are Solskjaer's comments. So it starts off with sometimes comment. So he's insisting that Ferdinand sometimes comments on things he doesn't really know. Rio, again, sometimes he comments on things he doesn't know. It's not like he was watching players, no. Then it goes on to both Bruno and Cristiano, as competitive as they are, suddenly I had them on my shoulder. They were there for a brief spell and shouted at the referee. There was an aggravation of getting a few bad decisions against us, but then Ronaldo and Bruno sat down. So what is Rio on? What is Rio talking about there? He should have been told to sit down.
Yeah,
If a player is that passionate, bro, let him. That shows his passion for the club.
But you know what? Rio isn't saying anything wrong. So you know what it is? So basically every single Man United player that's played for the club is showing their desire. So Ronaldo and Fernandes are getting pissed off and saying we got screwed over. Ferdinand is basically saying that guys do it in a different way. So they're both right in their own ways. And Ollie's basically just diffused the situation. So I think it's just the passion. Bro, Rio Ferdinand dies for that badge. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it.
No, of course he does. But sometimes he just needs to keep his mouth shut. Because right now, he's basically trying to tell Solskjaer what he should have done. And Solskjaer's come out and said the right thing, that he doesn't know what he's talking about. Because Ronaldo wasn't there coaching the players, or Bruno. They were there shouting at the referee because they had some decisions against the club. And they're very passionate.
Schmeichel did the same as well. Schmeichel did the same because he was pissed off that the team had lost to Young Boys. And he said that Ollie should have done something else. So everyone's going to have an opinion. I bet you right now, if you Patrice Evra, and you know what he's like, he's even more hot-headed. So I don't know if you saw last season when Man United lost to, I think it was Spurs. Yes, it was a 6-1 to Spurs that we watched together.
Yeah, let's not talk about that, bro. No, let's not talk about that.
He went off on a sick rant and started getting emotional. The only thing that saved him that day was that Liverpool ended up losing. So that was the saving grace for him that day.
Yeah.
But you can see it.
No, definitely. Just a heads up, I can see the comments coming through from Kev and the other people. We will touch on the comments later on once we've got through the other points that we wanted to talk about. I will touch on those issues because especially the last one that's come through from Daniel. So don't think I'm ignoring you, Daniel. I will definitely get around to your comment. So the other talking point of the game, Shaz, as we got to earlier, United had some penalty decisions go against them. So Ronaldo should have had at least one penalty. And Shaz knows which one I'm talking about, with the Kurt Zouma one, bro.
Yeah.
Just before West Ham got theirs, but we'll get onto that later, right? That Kurt Zouma foul on Ronaldo was 100% a penalty because he didn't touch the ball and he hit Ronaldo's leg. Now, I've seen penalties given for less than that. This referee was on something today because United should have had United had 3 chances for a penalty, all turned down by the referee. The other ones, maybe they weren't as bad, but that Kurt Zouma one at the end of the game, that was disgusting.
Yeah, I'm surprised VAR didn't review it and give it.
They did, bro. It went to VAR, and VAR said it's not a penalty. Because even the referee went over and watched it on the monitor and said, no, it's not a penalty. And I don't understand why. But then, literally, a few minutes later, he's given West Ham a penalty for an accidental handball on Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw was so close to the ball, and when you're stretching, you automatically stretch out with your arms like this. You automatically do it, but he was moving his arm backwards, not forwards, to grab the ball. That's not a penalty in my eyes.
That's a VAR rule that it's been brought in. It's a bit of an unfair one.
Sup, Kev? Thanks for tuning in, Kev. Appreciate you tuning in. Big up my man, Ryan. Big up for tuning in, bro. Appreciate that, as always. But yes, as the last point that I want to talk about is David De Gea. My man finally saved a penalty in about 5 or 6 years.
I didn't think he was going
to. As soon as they got that penalty, I said it to you, Shaz, that West Ham brought on Mark Noble to take their penalty. And what did I say to you, Shaz? he hasn't saved a penalty for us in 5 years. We need to take him off and put another goalkeeper on.
Well, you know that on that point, and I think Daniel covered it. I don't know if you're going to bring it up.
I will bring it up, obviously, once we finish speaking about De Gea.
But basically, that was always going to go in United's favor, because if you get someone that's just come on to take a penalty, it's never going to go in your favor anyway. You've not warmed up, you weren't ready.
Exactly.
So Daniel's comment here.
So Daniel's comment is, what did you think about bringing on a sub to take the penalty? Think it cost West Ham the point. It did definitely. I thought it was a stupid move. The guy's been sat on the bench for 90 minutes, and then you're bringing him on to take literally one kick, and that just destroyed it. I mean, if West Ham had scored, it would have been 2. Would have been 2-2 at that point?
Yeah, 2-2. Yeah.
No. Jesse Lingard scored after that penalty, didn't he, Shaz?
No, he scored before, bro.
No, sorry. Jesse Lingard scored before. Yeah. So it would have been 2-2. So that decision for David Moyes is the reason he's not Man United manager right now, and he's not still our manager, because he makes bad decisions.
Well,
that was probably the worst decision he could have made. Like Ben Rama had a really good game. And I think he got taken off, didn't he, Shaz? Ben Rama got taken off for Lanzini, I think. I might be wrong on there, but if Ben Rama was still on, he should have taken the penalty, or Lanzini should have taken it because he was already on the pitch. So you shouldn't be bringing on a player to take a penalty. Whereas the other side of it is, you can bring a goalkeeper on to save penalties.
Well, that's different. So that's a different side of it. Roy Keane and Graham Souness actually said this in the post-match interview. From what I read, it's like, why would you ask somebody that's not played in 90 minutes, warmed up, or done it? It doesn't matter that he scored the last of 10 penalties, but the fact is he hasn't been involved in the game. So Declan Rice or Lanzini.
Declan Rice. We're touching on Declan Rice later, bro. Don't you worry.
Yeah. I mean, you've had players there that were suitably qualified to take it, but they didn't. And it did cost them. So Daniel,
100% Daniel, it did cost them. I think that decision of putting Mark Noble on to take the penalty, just because he scored the past 10 penalties or whatever, that was a bad decision. If he was already on the pitch, it would have been a different story, because he would have had a feel for the game. He would have had a feel for the momentum that they had and the atmosphere, and he may have been able to psych David De Gea up. But De Gea's like, this guy's just come on. David De Gea was already psyching him up even before he came on the pitch.
Yeah.
David De Gea, for me, is our man of the match. I don't know who Sky gave man of the match to, or the Premier League, but my man of the match, 100% David De Gea for that save. What about you, Shaz?
No, I thought it was. I can't disagree with you. I think that save made the difference between getting 3 points and dropping two. So David De Gea, rightly so. West Ham dropped the ball, but you know what they say: it's called Fergie time for a reason. And although it wasn't in the 90th minute, your boy Messi Lingard came up with the goods.
Lingardino,
yeah.
Go for it, Shaz. Go on.
So I mean, overall, generally, a nail-biting game. I saw Ronaldo's goal. Ronaldo's a poacher, so Ronaldo makes the runs that no one else likes to do, and is finishing. Although I saw the chance that he had in the second half at the start, the way commentary made it look like it was a blatant chance. Now, I guess what they do is they look at Ronaldo and say, by his standards, he should finish it, which he probably should have, but it is what it is.
Like I said at the start, Shaz, you can't convert every chance you get, no matter how good you are. Now, I've just had a look, Shaz, while you were talking there. Now, the Premier League official man of the match was Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. That's his full name.
Full name,
but they gave him man of the match, and I think he does deserve it. He had a good match. But for me personally, I would have given it to De Gea, because even though he had a quiet game because he didn't really have much to do, when he was called upon, he did well.
Yeah.
But obviously, the goal that West Ham scored wasn't his fault. It was deflection from a Ben Rama shot off Rafael Varane. Yeah. And that's another point that I want to touch on. Varane tried blocking it, but he turned his back to the ball. he shouldn't have really turned his back to the ball. A player of his caliber should be diving in front of the ball and putting your foot out or your chest into it to block that.
Yeah.
I think he made a little bit of a judgment error there, and it cost us, a clean sheet, which is fine. We still won the game, but if it was 1-1, obviously he would have been held responsible because it was a deflection of him. But like I said, deflection can happen. I mean, there was another who else scored against us that was a deflection, Shaz. Was it Southampton?
Yes.
So this is the problem. Like, there's a lot of in 4 games in the Premier League, 5 games in the Premier League, we've had 2 teams score off a deflection, and I think that's just the way that our defending is. They try and get in front of the ball, but it deflects off them.
No, the problem is sometimes Man United defend too deep. So, for example, like the shots that they're having, these guys are having, the Man United defenders need to be a bit closer, because if you're slightly further out, you risk deflections happening, and that's just something that Ollie's got to work on. I mean, it happened against Young Boys as well. It happened against Young Boys because the equalizer was a deflection. So it should tell you that something
was that a deflection as well? The first goal that they scored, it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought so. I thought there was more than one.
Right, it was a deflected, because if you look at it, because I saw the highlights after we spoke, and I was like, there's no way that was going in if it wasn't a deflection. So it's kind of like, okay, boys, we've identified as a problem. And that basically, Shaz, imagine you're taking a shot and I'm like 5 yards in front of you. But if I'm 2 yards, I'm more likely to take one in the balls as opposed to it coming off my shin, my leg.
Yeah, and this is what Luke Shaw was doing. He was quite close to the player, and I think that the referee got that wrong, and VAR got that wrong as well. That should have been overturned because it was an accidental handball. Yeah, I can understand if you deliberately have your arm at your sides and then you bring your arm up. That's deliberate. That's a handball. That's a red card offence. If the referee deems it as a penalty because of a handball, he should be giving that player a card as well. But he didn't give Luke Shaw anything. It wasn't deliberate. It was accidental. So he didn't give him a card, but he gave West Ham a penalty, and that doesn't make sense.
Do you know what the worst bit was? So the funny thing is, and this is the reason why it enraged a lot of people, the fact that Man United had 3 penalties disallowed, and the fact that West Ham then ended up getting 1, made it far worse, because you're giving a dubious penalty when United, out of the 3 penalties, at least one of them should have been given. Now it evens itself out, but the fact that United didn't get one meant that penalty, had it gone in, that referee wouldn't have got out there alive. I'll say that much for sure.
No, you're right, bro. And another point that I want to touch on is Wan-Bissaka, bro. What the hell was he doing? What the heck was he doing on that right side? He was all over the show today. Now, normally he has a solid game in defense, bro. Normally he's our best defender on the pitch, but he had a nightmare today, man. He was, all over the show. And you know what I'm talking about, don't you, Shaz? Because I brought it up when we were watching it. I'm like, what's Wan-Bissaka doing? He was running next to the player, then he stepped back a couple of steps and he was behind him and let him cross the ball. And Varane had to come across and stop it.
Yeah, and I think
where Varane got knocked down in our own box.
This is the after effects of that unfortunate challenge on Tuesday.
No, bro, that's not an after effect, bro. He just had a bad game, and I don't understand why.
But this is why I said now, because he's now banned for 3 games in the Champions League. Believe it or not, the game on Wednesday now becomes a friendly. As we've said, Man United don't really care about the.
You can't field the strong side on Wednesday against West Ham. We've just beat them 2-1, and then going into the second game, you can't play the same team. They're not going to play the same team. I reckon. Obviously, Antonio will be back for them, and they'll probably be playing some of their players that didn't feature today. And United need to do the same. So he needs to maybe give Martial a game. Give Van der Beek another start. Give Matic a start. Get Juan Mata on.
Yeah.
And get these young players like, what's he called, man? Anthony Elanga. He's a good player. Get him on the pitch for a bit, even if it's half an hour. Is it Mengs as well?
Yeah, Mengi.
Mengi, sorry, the defender. Get him on. Get them some game time. Get them some experience at a higher level, because West Ham are a Premier League club and they'll play at a Premier League level even though it's a League Cup. These players need those chances.
Very true.
And maybe get De Gea in the nets for not De Gea, sorry, Henderson in this game. Give De Gea a rest until Aston Villa.
You know what? I wouldn't even give Henderson. I'd give it to Tom Heaton.
Whoever, bro. I'm just saying, give De Gea a rest. Let him get refreshed for Aston Villa, or even keep him out of the Villa game and have him fully fresh for Villarreal on the Wednesday after.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean, Shaz? It's just one of them. Oh, my boy Idris is here. We've got some comments from Idris. I didn't even notice, man. I had it on full screen. I didn't even notice. Lingard saved your life. He did, man, and I was buzzing. Ask Shaz how happy I was when Lingard scored.
Lingard literally saved Shaz Mahmood from breaking his house down. I thought he was
bro, even though he scored, I almost still broke my house down. I was screaming and shouting. I'm like, yes, boy, that's how it's done.
I had to turn my hearing aid down just because of Shaz's screams. I wouldn't be surprised if the next neighbors. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if the neighbors downstairs thought, shit, man, there's an attack going on upstairs. Oh, that was hilarious.
But yeah, man, Lingard saved the day, and I think because of that, he will feature more for United. Since he's been at West Ham and he's come back, it's like we've had a new signing.
Yeah.
It's like we've just got a new signing from West Ham. Do you know what I mean? We sent him on loan to West Ham, and it's like he's come back rejuvenated, more confident, and everything. And he's playing a better game, and he's absolutely amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Sell Martial, I agree, but if you're not going to sell him, let him play the League Cup games. We don't really care about the League Cup.
Idris, do you fancy taking Martial, man? Well, happily.
Bro, take him to Chelsea over Timo Werner.
Yeah.
Who's better, Martial or Timo Werner?
Oh, wow.
They're both bench warmers right now, though.
I don't know.
What's this? 2 years ago, I told a Man United fan Lingard will be back. I've been saying it for years that he needs more game time. And I was really happy that he went to West Ham on loan last season to prove that he's still a good player. And he's still got it, man. And that's why he's featuring now for United, because he proved himself at West Ham. He proved himself. And he's now in the first team. And I'm really happy with him. I'm really happy for him. Especially with I've read a lot about his personal life during the time as well, where he was struggling with depression and stuff as well. And it's great to see that he's happier, he's playing better, he's doing well in his life. It's absolutely amazing.
Absolutely, yeah.
I wouldn't wish anything bad on any of our players, not just our players, any other players. Like, footballers have a lot of pressure on them. They have a lot of pressure on them, bro. And when that pressure gets too much for them, it affects them mentally. As obviously it can be stress, anxiety, depression, whichever. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone, man. It's not good to feel that bad. And Idris is saying no, he wouldn't take Martial. I don't blame you. I wouldn't take Timo Werner. But Idris, from what I've heard, if Haaland leaves Dortmund are after your boy Timo. Well, what do you think of that? What's this? Tuchel could do something about him, but I don't see him rebuilding one certain player. I see him rebuilding teams. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Martial would stay in the Premier League because he's not suited for the Premier League. I think I said it in the other video, didn't I, Shaz, where he'd be better suited for Serie A style football.
Yeah, you talked about this. You talked about this yesterday on the preview. That Martial, basically, I think he would do well in Italy, France, Spain, because the league
not even Spain, bro. I think Spanish football is a bit different. But yeah, I think he'd do well in another league. The Premier League's not the right league for him.
That's true.
And I think if he left now, how old is he? 26, 27, Shaz, when we checked?
26, yeah.
26. So, I mean, he's still got a good few years left. He's 25, actually. He's 26 this year.
Okay, yeah. Same
So
thing.
he's still got, some good years left in front of him for his career. And I think moving to another club now would do wonders for him. Like it did with Jesse Lingard. Even if he goes on loan, like Jesse Lingard did, and comes back as another player, like we've just re-signed, then do you know what I mean? I think that would be amazing.
No,
Turbo Timor would be good in Germany. He isn't ready for the Prem. And I've said this before that some players aren't, their style of football isn't suited for the Prem.
exactly.
And Martial and Timo Werner are perfect examples. And also, another perfect example is Diego Forlan. Now, when he came to United, he didn't do well. He didn't score many goals for us. But when he went to Atletico Madrid after, it's like he was a completely different player.
Yeah, he struggled in England, and
He
I think
struggled
the
in
pace of
England,
the game
and
was
then he
just
went.
too quick for him.
Exactly. He struggled here. He went somewhere else and he did better. And I think Martial would do better in another league, and so would Timo Werner. What's this? You guys need two new centre midfields. Fred is useless, mate. I've said it.
Oh, wow.
Fred needs to be gone, bro.
Darren has just hit the nail on the head.
I wouldn't
Fred
say
is,
we need new central midfielders, but
I think he's talking about defensive midfielders.
nah, he
Yeah.
says central midfielders, bro. But I know, yeah, I know which position he's talking about. But
Yeah.
we get rid of Fred, get rid of Matic, and bring someone in, or maybe, yeah, just bring one person in because I think McTominay did really well today. He made some good tackles, he made some good saves, interceptions and stuff. Like I said, I rate McTominay. He's underutilized at United, and he doesn't get the
Credit
credit that
he
he's
deserves.
deserved. I think
Yeah.
he did well today. It's because he has a quiet, not quiet, but he doesn't really get noticed with the tackles that he makes and interceptions. But I notice these type of things, bro. I notice everything from our players. And he makes some really good interceptions in the Newcastle game. He made some against Wolves and Southampton, and he did it again today. Not against Newcastle. He didn't play against Newcastle. It was who was it, man? I think it was the first game of the season against Leeds. He did it. Yeah, I'm correct. I was wrong there. Yeah, Leeds. He did well against. He did it against Leeds where we were intercepting the ball. And I just think he's very, very, very underrated. Pedri will win Golden Boy, not when Ronaldo's around. He's not. Will I don't know if
Oh,
you're
wow.
referring to the Golden Boot, but Pedri ain't winning the Golden Boot if that's what you're referring to, Idris. Golden Boy, I think you mean Young Player of the Year. There's quite a lot of people that could get Young Player of the Year. I think Mason Greenwood's up there. Marcus Rashford could be up there. There's quite a lot. Phil Foden at Man City. I think he's a great young player. So there's a lot of players that I think could potentially be Golden Boy. I don't even think that's an award, but yeah, he's saying boy, so I'm guessing he's referring to Young Player of the Year or something like that. But I don't think
Maybe,
it'll
yeah.
be Pedri. I don't think it'll be Pedri. Mason Greenwood, Phil Foden. These two players, they're great. Sancho's still young. Rashford's still young. And there's a lot of other young. Mason Mount still a young player. I don't know if they come under that category, but I still think they're all good. Premier League Golden Boot, I think it's going to go to Ronaldo. I just think even though he missed the first 2 or 3 games of the season, he'll catch up. It's Ronaldo. There's going to be no player in the league right now that can go up against Ronaldo and score more goals than him in this season, man.
No, I don't think so.
Ronaldo's got a point to prove.
Yeah, I think he's got that killer instinct, and everyone will see more of it as the games go through.
Yeah. So Idris is taking the make. McTominay makes saves now. Is he a goalkeeper? No, you know what I meant, man. He was intercepting. He was blocking the ball. You know what I meant, dude. Golden Boot will go to Benzema. Benzema doesn't even play in the Premier League, dude. Champions League wise, it depends how far United get. I think Ronaldo could still get Golden Boot in the Champions League if we got all the way to the semi-final or final. Benzema is one of my favourite strikers. I would have loved to see him at United when in his prime. What about you, Shaz? Golden Boot? Premier League wise, who do you think it is?
That's an interesting one. I mean,
or even this one, the comment that's come up, Golden Boot will go to Benzema. In La Liga, maybe, and in the Champions League, maybe, but Premier League wise, it's definitely Ronaldo for me.
no, obviously Benzema doesn't play in the Premier League. That's going to be an interesting one. If Ronaldo carries on the form that he has shown, I think he's a strong contender for it.
Bro,
I mean, Harry Kane right now is.
Bro. Sorry, bro. One question I want to ask you. You're saying if Ronaldo can keep his form, Ronaldo has held his form for a full season, like at Real Madrid. He's done it season in, season out, 30 plus goals a season, 40 plus goals a season.
What I mean to say is if we can keep managing his workload, so Wednesday he should not play. But if he does play on Wednesday, then you kind of being a bit silly because he'll score goals, but then you want him to score goals in the games that actually matter, if that makes sense.
No, you're bang on there. He doesn't need to be playing in the League Cup. He needs to be playing in the Prem and the Champions League. The two cups that we've got, we're in FA Cup and League Cup. He doesn't need to be playing in them. That's where you have your Sancho, your Van der Beeks, Fernandes and Pogba, and the other players. Like Mata could come into the squad for them. And even the younger players that we've got from the reserves could get a shout up there. Idris is saying Big Rom, Salah and Kane. Kane is trash. I don't think he's going to get Golden Boot over Ronaldo. More Salah, if he stays on form all season, he could potentially, be up there against Ronaldo. Lukaku, I think he'll drop form after Christmas. He's just one of them players. I don't think he'll keep that form. I think he isn't a very consistent player, and he will drop form eventually this season. So I don't think he'll continue to score as many goals as he has. What about you? What do you think on those three players there, Shaz?
So Harry Kane is 0
Trash.
for 4. Trash. Hasn't done
Trash.
anything.
That's all I'm saying. Do you know that? That GIF online of Joe Budden just saying trash? That's what I want to bring up right now when you mention Harry Kane, because that's what I think of him. I've always thought he's trash.
Well, yeah, Harry Kane's not with it right now. Salah,
when was he with it, bro?
Salah, I think, is a strong contender. He's definitely banging in the goals. Whether he can maintain it, that's one to be seen. And then Big Rom, well, another one. He'll be in with the shout, but again, depends on how Chelsea play.
Yeah. So a quick question. Not quite a question. A couple of stats on Harry Kane. So the last time he was top scorer in the Premier League, he won it back-to-back in 2015-16 and 16-17 seasons. So that's 4 years ago, 4 seasons ago, where he won top goal scorer in the Premier League. He won it in the World Cup in 2017-2018, top scorer. And Euro qualifiers, he was a top goal scorer. Since 2018-19, he hasn't been top goal scorer anywhere, and I don't think that's going to change. I just think he's lost it. He needs to go to another club. I think if he was at a bigger club like Man City, he'd have more players feeding him the ball, supplying him that ball, and that's when he's going to score the goals. He needs someone to supply him them goals, and Tottenham are just trash. They don't have many players that are going to feed him that ball.
I mean, the funny thing about Tottenham...
they just got beat off Chelsea 3-0 today.
The funny thing about Tottenham was that in the first half, they were actually on form, but they didn't capitalize on the chances they had.
Like I'm saying, Shaz, Tottenham are trash. They're bottle jobs. What did I say in the preview of the Premier League, bro? Tottenham are going to bottle it.
Yeah,
and they've started. They won 3 on the trot. Now they've lost 2 in a row. And it's just going to get worse and worse for Tottenham now. Guaranteed, this is just going to get worse for Tottenham. It's going to be worse than an Arsenal season, bro. Now that's bad.
Oh, wow.
So a couple of other comments popped up here. Are Man United a one-man team? All United fans talk about is Ronaldo. Haha. No, they're not a one-man team. Fernandes, Ronaldo, Pogba, Rashford when he's back, Greenwood, Cavani, Sancho, Varane, De Gea, Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw. That's not a one-man team. If you ask me, that's a great team. That's a great starting 11 with Wan-Bissaka on right back as well. It's a great squad. And to me, this is a squad that can win trophies together.
Yeah, if they stick together and they learn to be consistent, then why not? Just remains
We've
to be the
got
question if they do.
What's this comment? Big Rom at Chelsea. Like I said, I've already just spoke about him. I'll say it again. I don't mind saying it again. He's not very consistent. He will drop form, and I don't think he'll be scoring more goals than Ronaldo this season. But I might be wrong. You know, he might not drop form, but I don't think Ronaldo's going to drop form and let someone overtake him on goal scoring. That's not Ronaldo doesn't have that in him. He's not a quitter. He doesn't give up. If someone overtakes him in goals, he'll just go out and score more. So yeah, I hope Big Rom does not lose form and keep scoring goals, because that will push Ronaldo to keep scoring.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting.
Ronaldo is a very, very competitive player.
Yeah,
you have to understand Ronaldo is very competitive. If someone's doing better than him in a stat like goals, Ronaldo will go out and score more goals than the other player. That's just the type of player he is. That's in his nature. He's a winner. He's not a quitter. So, and that's why I'm saying Ronaldo will be top goal scorer this season. Idris is saying, I mean, he did score 30 goals. Are we talking about Harry Kane again? Come on, man. Like, can we stop with this Harry Kane talk? I'm sick of it already. I'm sick of this Harry Kane talk. Harry Kane is not the player he was when he was top goal scorer in the Premier League 2 years running. He's not that player no more. He needs to be a bigger club to be fed the ball in a better, so get that supply in from who have Man City got that can supply him? Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, even though I don't rate him that highly, Mahrez, Sterling. I mean, imagine those lots supplying the ball to Harry Kane. Yeah. He will score more goals, because the stat that I read out saying he was the top goal scorer in the European qualifications, that's because he had them players around him. He had Sterling, he had Jack Grealish, Declan Rice, Mason Mount. They were around him. And if he has better players around him, he will do well.
That's true.
Kev is talking about. I'm not going to bring these comments up, Kev, because they are about wrestling. So, I mean, I did drop you an email asking you when you're available to do another podcast on wrestling. We're going to be doing it on Thursday, Friday evening. So if you want to jump on, let me know. I'll send you a link to get you on. But those comments, bro, this is Fergie time. This is about Manchester United. So I can't bring those comments up. It won't be fair on other people that are commenting on the football. You're available on Thursday. Okay, that's cool. I schedule in for Thursday, 10:30, between 10:30 and 11 in the evening night. And we'll get you on and we'll talk about it. These comments that you've just left here. But yeah, back onto this comment that Idris brought up about 30 plus goals. As I said, Shaz, I think he's talking about Harry Kane, but like I said, Harry Kane's trash. I can't put it any simpler. And I know there's a lot of, but not until like 4. Is that 4 p.m.? Sorry, Kev, are you from the UK? You have school? Oh, damn. But Shaz, your thoughts on Harry Kane, bro?
Non-existent this season, and not the player he was a couple of years ago.
Okay, Kev's from America. Okay. Yeah. Kev, we're from the UK. So 10 p.m. our time is going to be about 4 p.m. your time, depending on which time zone you're in. So are you from the East Coast, the West Coast, Central? Because obviously they all have different time zones. So we'll work something out. I'll drop you an email, but we'll sort something out. We can move it to about 11, which would be about 5 your time, I think. So we can work on that. We can get something sorted. But Shaz, a question for you, right? let's say Cavani didn't stay.
Okay.
So let's say Cavani didn't stay at United and we signed Harry Kane.
Right.
What would your thoughts be if that happened, bro?
Where are you going to fit him in?
That's fair. That's fair. My thoughts would be, why are we signing such a trash player?
I'd rather Man United go out and spend money and get Haaland. He's
Yeah,
younger.
no, of course, bro.
So
Of
I don't
course.
understand.
But the thing is, I think Harry Kane personally would have done well at United because he would have had Rashford, Mason Greenwood, Pogba, Fernandes, and Sancho around him, and
No,
those
yeah, I
players
agree
will
with
be
that.
feeding
But
him the ball. I think
the
he'd
reason I
score
asked
more
the question,
goals.
the reason I asked about where would you fit him is you've then got this dilemma of I've spent 150 million on a player that's injury prone.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
coming towards the end of his career, and I might not get the best of him. So I just don't understand what angle they're going with that, or if they do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get you. I get that, bro. I get that. I mean, I wouldn't want to spend that much money on Harry Kane, and I don't understand why Man City want him so badly. I just think they could, if they're willing to spend 150 million on such a crap striker, why not? Why not sign Haaland? Because Haaland has history with Man City. His dad played at Man City. Do you
Oh
remember
yeah,
the player that Roy Keane? He snapped his leg and then said he
yes, I
did it on
remember.
purpose.
Yeah,
That's Haaland's dad, man. So Haaland's got history there, and there's a chance that he could end up at City next season, based on he has links there through his dad.
but he also has links with Ollie from his time as Mode.
Oh no, of course he does, and I think that's going to be key for us if we want to get Haaland.
Very true.
Darren has a comment. Ruben Neves would be a good signing for Man United, 100%. But where would he fit in? We've got too many midfielders right now, and I just feel if we had him in, if he came to United, where would we fit him in? Because he's an attacking type of player.
Yeah,
He's not the defensive type of midfielder that we need to cover for Fred or McTominay or Matic. He would have to go into a higher. He would have to be playing higher up the pitch, so he'd be taking like the Bruno, the Pogba role. So one of those two would have to obviously be not playing or play further back, and Pogba wouldn't play in defensive midfield, and Fernandes wouldn't either. So one of them would be benched, or Ruben Neves would come in and he'd be treated the same way Van der Beek has been.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Kev. He said 150 million. Yeah, that's how much Man City want to pay to bring Harry Kane to Man City. John Cena doesn't even get that much. John Cena's trash as well, dude. Heck, some movie stars don't even get that much. Movie stars don't make that much money off one movie, I don't think, unless they get royalties and stuff like that, which they probably make more. Idris, he wouldn't have a good relationship with his dad if he joined United. Of course he would. His dad won't hold that against him.
That's just a personal personal preference for him.
Yeah, I mean, he'd obviously speak to his dad about it. I think isn't his dad his agent? Yeah. So his dad's his agent, so they would obviously talk about the move or his next move. And I think going to United would be a good move for Haaland. With the type of player he is and the goal machine, he's like a goal machine. Excuse me, he's a goal machine. I wouldn't want to see him at City because it'll just make City more dangerous. And I'd rather have him at United because he's a dangerous player. And having him link up with Sancho, who's like one of his best friends, that link up that they had at Dortmund was brilliant.
Yeah,
to have that at United, that's going to be dangerous as well. And there's quite a lot of comments flying in. So even Kev says that Harry Kane's trash. He's garbage, man. There you go. Darren has a comment here, Shaz. I think Haaland will go Real Madrid. I've got a feeling he's going to go Madrid or Barca. I just got a feeling that he's not going to come to United. I'll be upset if he goes to any other club at United. I'm just going to go out and say that. Like, why 150 mil? Because Tottenham's owner won't sell him for anything less than 150 million because he's a scumbag. But I'm not going to get onto that. Kev says LeBron doesn't even make that much. Probably doesn't. And again, LeBron is a brilliant player. Brilliant player.
Beast of a man.
So LeBron only makes 41 million a year. I mean, Kev, so that 150 mil will go to Tottenham. It won't go to Harry Kane. Harry Kane would then get a weekly wage, which would at City will probably be like £400,000 a week. So he won't be paid. He'd be paid like what 20 million a year, or around about. We've got some other comments popping up. Mina Riola is Haaland's agent. Oh, definitely not coming to United then, is he?
Oh yeah, that's
definitely not happening. Never Madrid are set for Mbappe. That's 100%. That's a given. But if Mbappe is going there for free, then why can't they sign Haaland as well? That would be a sick link up, Haaland and Mbappe, because they're both young players, and it's going to be after Ronaldo and Messi. It's going to be about these two players, if you ask me. And to have them in the same team, they're just going to do, they're going to link well together.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think they'll complement each other well.
So we've got a comment here from Stu MC. Does the MC, just correct me if I'm wrong, does that mean that you support Man City? Haaland joining a club that butchered his dad's career, doubt it. Harry Kane is a slithering slob that can't press. He bullies basement teams like Burnley, Norwich, San Marino, and Andorra. United didn't butcher his dad's career. That was a single player, and he's no longer at the club. And it was Roy Keane. And why wouldn't he come to United just because an ex-Man United player broke his dad's leg? I don't see the reasoning behind that.
No, that's true.
Yeah, Kev, 400k a week would probably be roughly what he would get paid at City, or maybe less. Actually, it could be a little bit more. Yeah, so Kev meant, not Kev, Stu meant Andorra in the last comment. Idris has come up with this. If they sign both Haaland and Mbappe, then it will defeat the purpose of Mbappe joining. Mbappe wanted to be the star player, not sharing the star with Haaland. That makes sense, but Real Madrid are a team that like to sign Galacticos. I mean, they always have more than one star player in their squad. And to have Haaland and Mbappe in the squad together would be amazing for the team that they're together in, because they're both really good players. They're both decent players together. I rate Haaland over Mbappe because, like I've said, Mbappe is just about his pace. But, with his pace, he can outrun anybody right now. And he can obviously... He can score, but he's not really good at it. But Haaland's clinical Haaland's finishing is on point compared to Mbappe. It's miles better.
Miles better, 10 times better. That's the way I see it.
So Stu has said, no, I'm a Sevillista. Nothing to do with it. Is that Sevilla then? Okay.
Yes, Sevilla, yeah.
Harsh on Kane, that comment. So I'm guessing you're referring to the one where he says he bullies basement teams and he's a slithering sloth. I don't disagree with that comment, to be fair. So he's actually referring to the comment made by Stu. This comment about Harry Kane is a slithering slob that can't press. I actually agree with that comment. What about you, Shaz? What do you think?
Well, dude, bro, the problem is with this Harry Kane debate, it's going to keep going back and forth. I mean, in my opinion, like you said at the start, he needs to move to a bigger club because he's wasting his energy trying to chase balls that he doesn't really need to. If he had the right tools, like most of the major top clubs do, he wouldn't be worrying about this. This can be easily covered and refunded.
Yeah, no, you're right there, bro. You're right. So right now, Kane is 28 years old. So for a striker, he's probably got 5 years left in him, or maybe more, maybe 6. So, and that's how long. Obviously, he'd signed a 4 or 5 year deal with a new club. So, I mean, he needs to do it now if he wants to get to a bigger club. Otherwise, it's he's just going to be spending the rest of his career at Tottenham, winning no trophies, because Tottenham are bottle jobs. Kev has said that's ludicrous for a soccer player. It is, but there's a lot of money in soccer not soccer, football. Let's call it what it is, football, please. I don't want to debate on that because it's called football. You kick a ball with your foot. It's football, not soccer. I know you're from America and you call it soccer, but what is soccer? I don't even know what that is. Shaz, what is soccer, bro? What is soccer, bro? Where the heck did that word even come from, bro? It's called football. What you call football, the American football, is just rugby with pads on. That's it.
Well, it's a bit more extreme with the helmets.
Yeah, because rugby's rugby in it, but American football, they can actually hurt each other. That's why they wear all this padding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Idrissa said they are both strikers and they can't bench one of their wingers. Their egos are too big too. The team would go down. I don't think the team will go down having Haaland and Mbappe in your team. Mbappe can play as a right or left winger, and Haaland can play central. They could play 3 up front like they do. Haaland in the middle, Mbappe on the left or right, and another player on the other wing. I think that would be good. The team spirit. All right, so you're saying the team spirit will go down? I doubt the team spirit will go down having 2 world-class players like Haaland and Mbappe in your team. I disagree with that one, Idris, bro. Yeah, I know this, Darren. Bottle Jobs beat Man United 6-1 last season at Old Trafford. I don't disagree. It happened, didn't it? Well, what can I say about it? It's just one of them things. It's you get beat, innit? Tottenham had a good day in the office and United had a bad day. But let's move on. Idris has said, you put your sock in your I have no idea what he's referring to there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he's talking about soccer. You put your sock in your Okay, that's just, I don't know. I don't know what he means by that. Vinicius and Rodrigo won't want to be benched. Well, it's not up to them, is it? If Mbappe and Haaland come in and they pay like 100 or 60 to 100 mil for Haaland and they get Mbappe on free and they're paying them high wages, they're not going to bench them over Vinicius and Rodrigo. Or Vinicius would get benched over Haaland and Mbappe if they both come in. It's a harsh way of saying it. They are good players. Vinicius and Rodrigo are decent players, but they're not as good as Mbappe and Haaland. And and Darren said they have a Benzema. So you have Benzema as he does play through the middle because that's his role. Haaland can play on the left or right, and you can have Mbappe on the other. That's a perfect front three. Yeah, Vinvy's ego is big, but if he gets benched and he has a hissy fit, he just gets sold. I would play Haaland, Benzema, and Mbappe over Benzema, Vinicius, and Rodrigo because they're 2 better players. Rodrigo wants to develop, so he will be this. What? Rodrigo wants to develop, so he will be disappointed. Okay. It happens in football. You know, your club sign a new player, you get put on the back burner, you end up moving somewhere else. It happens. It's just football. And that's what money does. They will sell Hazard. Yeah, they need to sell Hazard because he's had just a nightmare at Real Madrid since he's been there. But obviously, he did have the injury as well, so it's not 100% his fault. He wasn't playing that well at Real Madrid even before that. I don't think right now he's hit his peak form that he had at Chelsea, and I don't think he will in Spain. I don't think he will in Spain. Maybe they give him till January, maybe they give him till the end of the season. But if he's not doing his job, Real Madrid will sell him because that's what they do. They're very harsh. The Real Madrid fans will turn on him. They turned on Ronaldo, for crying out loud. When Ronaldo wasn't on form, they turned on Ronaldo quick. But when he was scoring goals, they were all behind him. That's just a Real Madrid fan base. They're not very loyal to their players. If they're on form, they're very loyal. But when they're not on form, their fans, they're against them. They want them gone.
That's why their fans struggle to fill up the ground. And people start thinking, oh, do you want to the roof? Because they know they're not consistent with it.
What's this? The most realistic thing I can think of is Benzema at central attacking midfield, Mbappe at right wing, Haaland as striker, and Vinicius as left wing. No chance. Benzema is not going to drop back to attacking midfield. He's a striker. He's been there, one of their main strikers for years. Even when Ronaldo was there, he was their main striker. He was up front. Ronaldo was on the left or right. So he's not going to... If he didn't change his positioning for Ronaldo, he's not changing it for Mbappe or Haaland. No chance, man. So Kev has said Thursday 11 or some other time. So when you say 11, is that 11 p.m. your time, you're saying? Because that's going to be like 4 a.m. our time, and that's not going to happen on a Thursday, man. We're not going to be on at 4 a.m. We've got work the day after. So it's going to have to be anything up to 11:30 our time, which would take it to about 5:30, 6 o'clock your time-ish, depending on your time zone. Like I said, I don't know what time zone you're in. But yeah, what you said there, Idris, doesn't make sense. Benzema won't change his positioning. 11 a.m. 11 a.m. my time on a Thursday. I'll be working, dude. I won't be online. I won't be doing a podcast 11 a.m. when I'm working.
Yeah, not right now, especially with all that you've got going on. You need to keep it solid so you can knock them out of the park.
Yeah, no, 11 a.m. is too early for a podcast for us because we work as well. So we're not going to be on whilst we're working. We can't obviously work and do a podcast at the same time. So, like I said, our time, anything after 9 p.m. to about midnight, we can be on for the podcast. So there's a 3-hour window. If you can get on, even if it's half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever, we'll be happy to organize that. But anything earlier than 9 or 8 a.m., it's just too early for us because of work.
Yeah, that's standard. Some people could probably make it, some probably couldn't. Right.
So Darren's mentioned, Shaz, I'll let you answer this one. How will Real Madrid sign both? Surely La Liga won't allow it. They didn't let Barca renew Messi. I'll let you answer that one, Shaz.
I don't think they can. And I don't think it'll happen. It's one of the other.
I think they can, bro. I think they can.
Because
you have to understand, Ronaldo's wages were really high. And obviously, since Ronaldo's gone, they've got Hazard, but they could sell Hazard. That will clear up some wages.
If they sell Hazard and reduce the outgoings on the book, then I think why not? Because they are in a lot of financial difficulty.
To me, bro, Mbappe is what? Mbappe is going to be on what? Maybe 400K or 500K?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
And Haaland will be on, I don't think he'd ask for that high of a wage. He'd probably be on, what, maybe 250? They can afford that if they get rid of a couple of players. Like if Vinicius Jr. doesn't want to sit on the bench and Rodrigo, that's two players they can sell there. That'll free up funds. They've got Hazard they could sell. If they're getting a striker like Haaland, they might be looking at selling Benzema, or Benzema might be looking at retiring. So that would free up some wages as well. So or bring in a transfer fee. So Kev is saying, yeah, he got mixed up. So it'd be 9 p.m. our time is 4 p.m. for him. So yeah, anything after 9, like I said, anything after 9 p.m. our time is fine. So 10, 11 o'clock, which would be what, 5, 6 o'clock your time. That's fine for me. His next question also, will you all make videos about Impact and TNA? We'll answer that question on the wrestling podcast, dude. If you want to talk about wrestling, you'd have to do it on the wrestling podcast. This is about Man United and football, so we're all going to stick to that topic. Darren's mentioned Bale's wages as well. Yes. I don't know what they're doing with Bale, but if they get rid of a couple of players and...
Well, I think the thing with Bale is that he's not really played that much. Now, will he get game time now? That's anyone's guess.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. Idris is saying they don't need Haaland. Mbappe, I can make an exception for. They don't need Haaland, but because they've got Benzema, but Benzema's quite old now. What is he, 34?
Yeah, easily.
He's 33. So he's, his pace isn't there anymore because he's quite old. He's been their main striker for what, 10 years now, Shaz?
Yeah, that's
at
true.
least 10 years.
Coming
That's
up in 10 years.
amazing. Like, that's an amazing achievement to be Real Madrid's main striker for that long. I mean, before him, it was Raul. I absolutely love Raul, man. He was amazing.
Raul was sick, bro.
He was amazing. Since he left, I think they've had Benzema. Kev is saying 9:15. Are you good with that, Shaz? So that's about 9:15, 9:30 our time.
When is it? This Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday. So
yeah,
9:15 Thursday.
Yeah, should be okay.
Okay, cool. So Kev, yeah, that sounds like a okay time for us, but I'll reach out to you by email and let you know. Darren is asking, when is the Coventry show, Shaz? I'll let you answer that, seeing as that's your show.
So I was actually speaking to Rich about this, and we're gonna do one on Saturday after the Peterborough game. So we'll cover the draw against Millwall, and we'll cover the post-match reaction with Peterborough on Friday. On Saturday we'll do it, but the game's on Friday.
Okay, so you're doing it on Saturday?
Yeah, we're doing it on Saturday. I'll just confirm the time, but don't worry, Darren. We'll let you know.
No worries. Darren, if you want to jump on that show as well, Darren, reach out to Shaz, and he'll organise that with you and Rich. Shaz will be back for that show, so
absolutely
nothing to worry about with that. Idris is saying they won't sell Benzema. Benzema and Madrid have too much history. Exactly. So if Benzema's staying, they get Haaland and Mbappe for left and right wing because no one's replacing Benzema. You're not replacing Benzema. I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you're Haaland. You're not replacing Benzema as the striker. Ronaldo didn't. Ronaldo didn't play down the center for Real Madrid. He played down the left and right.
Yeah, he did.
So, and Benzema's not going to move for Haaland or Mbappe, let's be honest. He's bigger than Haaland and Mbappe. To me, he's an amazing player. He's had an amazing career. So he's not moving from that position for these two. And talking about egos, even his ego is going to make sure he stays in his position. You get me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
So Kevy's saying, all right, so Shaz, 9:15 on Thursday, all things wrestling. We'll get that booked in. So Darren is saying thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
Haaland can't play as a winger. Disagree. I think he can adapt. He's a very young player. He can adapt if he wanted to. Like I said, I don't think he will. I don't think he will end up at Real Madrid for a couple of reasons. I think mainly because he will want to play as a striker, and Benzema ain't moving from that position, so he won't go there. Barca need a striker, so he could end up at Barca. I think he's more chance of going Barca than Real Madrid, just because Barca are redeveloping, they're rebuilding their team after Messi's gone. What are your thoughts on that, Shaz?
Yeah, I don't see him replacing Benzema. I think Benzema will finish out his career, and either Vinicius Junior will come in and take more of a prominent role. But I mean, apart from that,
but obviously we are supposed to be talking about Man United, and we have gone off a little bit off topic with Haaland and Mbappe. But the reason I've talked about Haaland and Mbappe is because there's a lot of potential for Haaland to come to United because of his links to Solskjaer and Sancho being one of his close friends. We've got a couple more comments here, Shaz, and then we'll wrap it up. So Darren has said they sold Ronaldo and Ramos with history. I don't think they sold. They didn't sell Ramos, did they? He left on a free. They didn't just renew. They didn't renew his contract.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with Real Madrid, So this is a response to Idris's comment about Real Madrid having history with their players and not selling them. But look what they did to Casillas, the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he went in an
he left because he was literally in tears because he had to leave Real Madrid. They didn't want to keep him, and he spent nearly his whole football career with Real Madrid, and they treated him like shit. And that's the only way you can put it. They treated him like shit as he was leaving. The Real Madrid don't care about their players. You've got to understand, Real Madrid want to make money. They want to win trophies. If you're not helping them do that, you're gone. If you're too old for that job, you're gone. That's why Ramos hasn't. That's why they didn't re-sign Ramos. That's why Varane's left. Varane wanted a new challenge because he's done everything he can with Real Madrid. There's nothing left for him there. He wanted a new challenge, and Solskjaer was able to persuade him not to re-sign with Real Madrid and come to United. We're building something special here. And Kev has just said, thanks for the offer, guys. No worries, Kev. We'll like we've said, we don't mind having fans on for the shows and stuff like that. So Darren has said, I actually can see Haaland go Liverpool. Like, I don't even want to talk about Liverpool on this show. That's how much I hate them. Madrid want players to evolve right away, so Haaland will be benched or hated. They never give a player time. Haaland doesn't need to evolve. Haaland is scored goal. So his current record right now, he's scored consecutively in about 7 games at Dortmund.
That's crazy, man.
He scored about 60 plus goals in 2 seasons at Dortmund. How does he need to evolve anymore? The guy's evolved already, and he's just going to get better and better. Whoever gets Haaland and keeps him there for the next 10 years, they're going to win a lot of trophies with Haaland. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what this is referring to. Went Porto, that was bang.
Yeah, he's
talking about Casillas. Yeah, the way they treated him was absolutely disgusting, man. He was a great player for them. He was their number 1 goalkeeper for a good part of 10 years, I think, or maybe longer. Because he joined them when he was about 19 or 18, didn't he? He joined them when he was really young. And he was their main goalkeeper for a very long time. And the way they treated him towards the end when he left, when he had to leave, was just out of order, man. It was disgusting. You don't treat your players like that. It doesn't matter what club you are. You don't treat players like that, man. Especially when they've been so loyal to the club for so long. It is what it is, but that's Real Madrid for you, isn't it? That's the point I was trying to make. Real Madrid do that to their players. So to say they won't do it to Benzema, you can't, because they've done it to Casillas. So what's stopping them doing it to Benzema?
Nothing really.
Exactly. So it could happen. They could sign Haaland and say, right, we don't need you anymore, mate. See you later. Look what they've done to Gareth Bale. He played well for him for a few seasons. He won that Champions League final for him. And then he got benched that bad that he had to come back to Tottenham for half a season. He treated Tottenham like a training facility and a rehab centre because he hardly even played for him.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Do you know what I mean, Shaz? He didn't want to stay at Real Madrid and do that. He came to Tottenham, and Tottenham paid his wages to go to rehab and to use the training facilities. So Idris is talking about Real Madrid again. We are going off topic there, Idris. This show's about Man United. If you want to mention, Real Madrid and other clubs like that, to an extent, I don't mind on this show, but we'll talk about them more on All Things Football. That's the show where we talk about everything related to football, not just the Premier League, but other leagues, La Liga, Bundesliga. We can even talk about the Championship, League One, League Two, whatever. You can mention anything football-wise on All Things Football, and we will answer all your questions about them there. So I won't bring that comment up because obviously it is about Real Madrid, but I do get what you're saying with that comment. But Shaz, United-wise, is there anything else that you need to talk about, bro? Is there anything else that you want to go through before we wrap this one up?
No, I think we pretty much covered it. It was an interesting day.
It was an interesting combo, bro.
Well, that was definitely an interesting podcast today, and I really appreciate everyone that's tuned in and left their comments. It's good to see more and more people engaging, and that's what we're here for. Loving the banter between Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal fans.
Yeah, man, it's good, man. It's always good to have that banter with the viewers, man, especially. So Darren's just asked a good question, Shaz. When's that show all about football?
That's a good one.
Usually midweek, like Tuesday, Wednesday. So normally what we do is once the Premier League game week is over, so like game week 5, we'll do a roundup of all the fixtures, and then we'll do a preview on the next game week, the day after, or something like that. And then at the end of them shows, we will obviously take any questions about anything to do with football.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's probably going to be like last week we did this week. Sorry, just gone. We did that Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
But obviously this week, coming Thursday, we're doing the wrestling show. So it might be Tuesday, Wednesday. But after this show, me and Shaz are going to put a schedule up for the coming week. So you'll be able to see what day we're doing all the shows on up until maybe Friday, Saturday. We'll get all that scheduled in. So you'll be able to see them straight away, probably in the next half hour to an hour. So we'll talk about that. We'll get it up. And then if you just check YouTube, Darren, it'll show you our upcoming live streams. If you don't want to miss it, you can click on the reminder notification. So as soon as we go live on YouTube, you'll get that notification say we've gone live. Going forward, what we're thinking of doing is not broadcasting this on Facebook and Twitter, and just keeping it to YouTube, and to keep it on Twitch and YouTube. So whatever shows are on Twitch, we'll keep there, and whatever shows are on YouTube, we'll keep there. But me and Shaz are going to talk about that. We'll announce whatever we decided on that when we've come to a decision. But yes, people, I do appreciate everyone tuning in. Before we do go, though, I want to give a big shout out to Chopper Vapes. It's not a paid promotion for Chopper Vapes. The reason I'm shouting them out is because it's one of my friend's businesses. He started it from the ground up. Go to choppervapes.com. As you know, obviously the name says it all. It's about vape. So you get your flavors, you can get your e-cigs and everything from there. Big shout out to Chopper Vapes. They've got 2 shops around the UK. One up in Lancashire in Accrington, and I can't remember where the other one is. It is somewhere, I think, down south. So big shout out to my boy Abu with this business, man. From where it started to where it's come, it's absolutely amazing. It's been an amazing journey, and I hope it continues for you, bro. I do appreciate you, man. And yeah, anything vape wise, that's your place to go. But I do appreciate, as Shaz says, everyone tuning in. I appreciate all the comments, the banter, and everything. So please leave a like on this video. Leave your comments if you're watching it on a replay. If there's anything that we've talked about or anything you want to see us talk about, leave it in the comments. We do read all the comments and we do try and respond to as much as we can. Hit the subscribe button on the channel and the bell notification so you know we've gone live over on YouTube. We are on Facebook and we are on Twitter, but as I said, we're thinking about not going live on Twitter and Facebook in the future, but we will post all the links to our streams there when we go live and after. So keep up, the love and support. It's all appreciated. Official Facebook and Twitter of the channel are at the bottom, and our personal ones are just here in the corners. But like I said, much love to everyone. Love all the support and everything that we're getting from friends, family, and viewers as well, around the world, from America, as Kev is, and from the UK, from Pakistan, from any country that you are, man. All the love is really appreciated. So share the link for Finished Article with your friends and family and get them to subscribe. Help us push to that race to 200. That is it for now. I think Shaz has fallen asleep, to be fair.
Yeah. No,
he's still there. All right, he's still there. He's still there.
Don't worry, bro.
I'm joking, man. It's just I couldn't see you, man. I didn't know where you were. I thought you might have just turned the camera off and chipped in it.
No.
But before we go, that's our official email address for now for the Finished Article. If you want to get on the show, drop us an email with what show you want to come on and what you want to really actually speak about when you're on, and we'll get something arranged. But until next time, much love to everyone.